My daughter was kidnapped by a vampire. Please, help us. I have $500,000 for you now, and I will pay you another $2 million when you bring my daughter home safely.
It may be too late.
If she has already been taken by the vampire, and if she should ever be killed, let it be without suffering.
What is her name?
Charlotte. She is my most precious daughter. Now, hurry. My son has also hired other hunters.
Hey guys, Shaun back with another weekend one-off for Halloween. We're back on the PlayStation, playing Vampire Hunter D. This game's kind of interesting to me, because I'm a fan of Vampire Hunter D. Not so much this game, more the rest of Vampire Hunter D. Vampire Hunter D is a series of, novellas, I guess. Let me look up the author's name. There we go. Vampire Hunter D is a series of, like I say, novellas, I guess. They're short novels. Written by... Okay, you had the name up a minute ago. Why have you reloaded? Written by Hideyuki Kikuchi. Now, this game is kind of interesting. Like I say, I'm a fan of the series of novels and novellas, whatever. This game is loosely based on the movie Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. The animation we saw at the start came directly from the movie. And Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust is one of my favorite anime movies. I love it. I think it's a fantastic movie. Particularly in its animation, it looks so good. The movie itself is loosely based on the third book in the series, Demon Death Chase. The basic premise is the daughter of a village leader has been kidnapped by a vampire. The world of Vampire Hunter D is set post year 10,000. And in this world, there's monsters, there's mutants, there's vampires. The vampires reigned for millennia, but are now in decline as humanity is just rising up again. And they're not in decline because humanity has fought against them. They're just in decline. There's no real reason for it. It's really interesting. And the titular character, Vampire Hunter D, is a Dampier. They refer to him, rather than Dampier, in the two movies they've done, two anime movies. In the English dub of them, they call him a Dunpeel for some reason. I'm not sure why. There is an interesting point with Vampire Hunter D. The illustrations for the series are done by Yoshitaka Amano, who you may recognise as the illustration artist for Final Fantasy. And I like Vampire Hunter D. I like the world it sets up. It's weird, it's full of mystery, and there's a lot of weird stuff going on with it. The game takes place, like I say, very loose adaptation of the Bloodlust movie. It takes place right near the end as they get to the vampire castle. There you go, Hideyuki Kikuchi. Let's get a look at the options as we always do. Yeah, we want subtitles on. Can I have some to offer it, actually? Let's go with easy, because this game, you're not just fighting enemies, you're fighting the controls.
12,090
Oh, here we go.
AD. 10,000 years have passed since the final war brought the history of the human race to its end. The vampires have reigned over the world since that time. But now they are dying as a species. This is their final hour.
Yeah, like I say, vampires reign for millennia.
Humans are regaining their
Incredibly
power after many long,
powerful,
dark years.
incredibly advanced. A lot of the
Some
scientific
vampires
advancements that are still
remain
left in the
in the remote
world
region and
are
continue their horrific
the
attacks against
remnants of the
humans.
vampire civilization.
Such action has prompted the proliferation of bounty hunters to destroy them. Among these hunters, the Dunpeals, half vampire and half human, are considered the finest. In time, people began to talk about a young hunter of remarkable beauty and skills.
So, in the movie, they get to the castle right near the end, and the last 20 minutes or so are in the castle. The game takes place entirely in the castle, which I guess kind of makes sense. You can do something with it, rather than like the chase to the castle.
They must have gone in here.
So D has something of a parasite
there's
in his
Maya
left
Link
hand.
and the Marcus brothers who are after him. All the pieces are in place.
It's a weird
So
thing
it
that's
seems.
never explained in the movies.
Shite, the legendary castle.
it's not
I thought it had
really-
already fallen to ruin. I wonder what brought Maya Link
It's
here.
not really explained in the books as far as I remember. It's just kind of there. And the parasite does have his purposes. He's more of a help than a hindrance. That's weird. Hold L1 to walk. Let me switch that, actually. Because I'd rather walk as standard than run. Hold the button to run makes more sense. So, it's very Resident Evil style, like Countdown Vampires was. It has melee combat, though, and you can jump. See how well you think that's going to go. That's more interesting than Countdown Vampires loading screen.
Be careful, D. This castle has an evil air. I've never felt anything like it before.
So D is an incredibly powerful Dunpeel. Probably the most powerful. And he hunts vampires. And one of the most interesting parts of, I suppose, the entire idea of Vampire Hunter D is that vampires, like I say, they're not dying. They're not in decline because of humans fighting against them. They just are, and nobody's really sure why. But even then, vampires are incredibly powerful. And even D can have a hard time with a full-blooded vampire. Decorated with a relief. The red key. There we go, now we can get a look at the painting. This painting's actually taken straight out of the movie.
This must be a portrait of Carmilla, the mistress who resided in this castle.
Carmilla?
People used to call her the Bloody Countess. Her extreme ferocity incurred the wrath of the Vampire King, and he destroyed her himself. I guess we should be thankful to the king. She could have been an unbeatable enemy.
Okay, I'll look for the door that matches the key. It really is weird that there's a jump function, and I've not figured out how to attack yet. Oh, there we go. Triangle draws the sword, now change everything? Oh, there we go. And then R1 must be guard. Alright. Let's go. Gotta say, the pre-rendered cameras, the pre-rendered backgrounds and the static camera angles are done better in this than they were in Countdown Vampires. The controls aren't great though. And it's one of the things that really kind of saddens me as a fan of Vampire Hunter D. This is the only Vampire Hunter D game, and it's interesting, it's not great. And it's really only interesting for less than an hour before the problems of the game start to really become kind of unbearable. Vampire Hunter D would be a franchise that'd be really interesting to see get some kind of video game revival in this day and age. I mean, it's kind of a cliche thing to talk about character action done by Platinum, but I played the crap out of a Platinum Vampire Hunter D game. So it's got to be the red door on the other side. Yeah, I'd play the crap out of a Platinum Vampire Hunter D game. Oh, this is the right key. A motion-sensitive security system. So do I want to walk? Nope, I guess I want to run. Wooden darts. Very common projectile that D uses. Damn it. Very common projectile D uses. Fine wooden darts that he's carved, that he throws. And then use the left hand to draw it in, I guess.
Ah, yummy. Feed me more.
So the left hand, like I say, some sort of parasite is kind of weird. It has saved D's life more often than not. And it's... Really, it is... D's very quiet, very stoic. It's the character that usually talks for D. Not necessarily to the audience. I'm pressing the wrong button there. Draw the sword. Yeah, it's the character that really talks with D, kind of for the audience, to get an idea of what D is. Oh, I press... Okay, I don't really know why that's happening. Talks D kind of for the audience.
You must be Meyer Link. I'm here to save the girl you kidnapped.
So, Charlotte's father hired a hunter. I dislike senseless killing. If you leave now...
So, cool thing here,
spare you.
these are actually voice actors from Vampire Hunter D
You don't
Bloodlust.
scare me, Meyer Link. This will be easier if you just tell me where you're hiding her.
You should have listened to my advice. Very well. I will shred you to pieces.
It's quiet now. Should we go inside?
Yeah, might as well. And this is probably where I'm going to die. So I've played the game up to this point before. This is Maya Link, the vampire who kidnapped Charlotte.
Disturbs me?
I'm here for the young woman.
I see. You are also a hunter. I will deal with you as I please.
So this is definitely different from the movie, in particular.
You must be a Dun Peel. Why
Because
do you hunt us for the
Dee
humans? We share the same blood.
already fought with Maya Link before they got to the castle in the movie.
I see you're here for the money. Shame on you. Die, traitor.
So Maya Link is not an easy fight. And like it comes at you so early. Like really without time to get used to the controls or anything. They also spelt his name wrong in his health bar. Oh, I guess it is easy if you make use of the block. Okay.
I've heard talks of a skillful hunter who is a Dun Peel. You must be Dee.
Meyer Link. I thought you never hurt humans. Why did you kidnap Charlotte?
There's a lot of background
You
story
don't
they just
need
kind of
to
gloss
know.
over with
I will
this.
settle this with you later.
Like particularly in the book and the movie, my Link has a reputation for never actually really attacking humans, I think.
The smell of a young woman's blood.
Which made it particularly weird that
It
he went
must
after
be
Charlotte.
Irresistible. Why not quench your thirst a little bit, huh?
Quiet.
And that is generally how Dee shuts the hand up. So I like that. Yeah, might as well use a potion on her. This is one of the Marcus brothers, Layla. She's not actually a guy, but for some reason the group of vampire hunters are just referred to as the Marcus
He
brothers.
escaped.
Ouch! Damn that Meyer Link. Don't tell me you saved me. I didn't ask you for that. You think I should be grateful, don't you?
I don't really
I was
care.
just doing my job.
I'm Layla, a member of the Marcus brothers.
There you go.
Who are you anyway?
I am Dee.
I've heard of you before. There's a Dun Peel hunter in this remote region who's supposed to be as good as us. That must be you. But I didn't think you'd be foolish enough to help your competitor.
The
Well, I'll
actual
give you one
meeting
piece of
between
advice
Dee and the
for
Marcus
saving
brothers
me.
in the movie is a
All hunters who
fantastic piece
stalk
of
the same
animation.
prey
I
as
really do
us
recommend
never
watching it
return
sometime if you
back.
haven't seen it.
If you don't want to waste your life, leave the castle now.
Boy, she's tough. The Marcus brothers. They look like trouble. We should take care of our business before they get involved in the game.
The Marcus brothers are, in the movie, really rivals to Dee for the bounty on Maya Link. In the book, the Marcus brothers are straight up antagonists. The movie really toned down the problem ideas of the Marcus brothers. Okay, that's cool. Let me attack. Probably a bad idea to have the Probably a bad idea to have the attack button be the same as the check button. Okay. What about this? Wooden darts. Can we get up here? Like I say, the idea is interesting, and I'd say certainly more than Countdown Vampires. You could probably hold your interest in this more if you wanted to go through the game. Because there's problems with the controls and a bunch of the ideas of how the game plays, but they're not so bad that you'll be like, oh my god, I don't want to play this for longer than 20 minutes. Maybe you could get the combat down with the block. No. Who knows? But overall, like, yeah, this is better than. Okay, this is definitely better than Countdown Vampires. The pre-rendered camera thing, not so great for melee combat, really. Although the combat still works better than Countdown Vampires. And it's an interesting game. And I don't just say it because I'm a fan of the series. Okay, so I know where we're going next. The camera angles aren't great. Ups and downs. Some of them are reasonable. Okay, you must be a Eat Your Tasty guy. Anything in here to justify that? Doesn't look like it. So that was just a trap. If there's more of those in this game, then definitely knocking it down a notch. Respawning enemies. That's certainly less appealing. The music's kind of... It's not as bad as Countdown Vampires, it's more atmospheric, but there's not really anything going on with it. And then the music changes as I say that, of course it does. What is this? Huh. This statue looks like it can be moved. Yeah. The old trick of pre-rendered backgrounds. If it's 3D, you can probably move it. How? Oh, okay. A tombstone with mankind engraved on it. Okay, so what's the purpose? Weird. Okay, we didn't try this door, did we? Nope. You forget with how more modern games try to cut loading down. Security device needs power. Okay. You forget with how more modern games try to cut loading down entirely. So a lot of games these days stream more effectively from the disc. And going back to older games, you forget just how prevalent loading screens would be. Especially on the PS1. So what's that noise? More monsters. It looks like we kind of end up with a case like Countdown Vampires here, where you might as well just run past them all. Because combat's just not worth it, especially if they're going to respawn. Why did I stop? I gotta say, like, so far, it's Countdown Vampires was bad. This is it's better, but it's not great. That was a bad noise. Okay, so not that way. Restores HP and vampire. I assume VP's vampire points. Turn around. Turn around. Is there a quick turn in this game? I need to check. Oh, something's going on. That's a different kind of enemy. Get off. Weird. So, the series itself has plenty of monsters you could really use. None of these appeared in the movie. I'm guessing... Do the Barbaroi appear in this movie? In this game? Because they'd make for reasonable bosses. I think I remember reading that only 2 of the Barbaroi actually appear in this rather than all 3. No, there's nothing here. And the series itself is awash in monsters, mutants, various things you could use as standard enemies. I don't really recognise any of these. They seem kind of generic. It's been a while though since I last read Vampire Hunter D. This room looks the same as the other one. This is different. It looks the same, but there's no gate behind there. So let's see what this says. There's no quick turn. There's a sidestep feature that I can't figure out how to actually use properly. Okay, so there is a quick turn if you press L2 and R2 together. And if you just keep holding it down, that happens. I don't know how this works. It is weird. It's a weird control scheme. Vampire. So, a tombstone for humans, a tombstone for vampires. I assume they both refer to the respective races. I mean, the other one's got to, it said mankind. Alright, let's check through this door, then we're probably going to call it. We've gone for quite a bit, actually, with this one. The clock? Another computer door. Oh, somebody with a sword. That's a new enemy. Some sort of woman. Don't have anything for that. Okay, so if you double tap one of the left or right directions, you'll do a quick turn. I don't know who this is supposed to be, or what she's supposed to be. But it looks like she can block. That's interesting. And cuts through my guard, which Maya Link couldn't do. I don't know what that was, the camera shifted. This is weird. I have no idea how to do the hand absorb thing that Dee did in the cutscene either. Oh, this is a different track. That's a different enemy. Well, it was nice of them to keep the cutscene going as it approached me. She has stretchy arms, that's what it was. Main power control center. So the thing with Resident Evil with this entire idea is avoiding enemies was the smart idea. It wasn't always possible, but it was the intention. With this, and with Countdown Vampires, it really feels like it wasn't. Like you were intended to fight the enemies. And there are times when Dee just stops, and I have no idea why. It's happened a few times now. Huh.
This should have restored the security devices.
Well, we made some progress. Monster? No, no monsters. Surprising. Okay, so if you run into a wall like that, you can't even Like, I'm holding forward and left. You won't turn at all. You have to let go of forward completely. You just come to a complete stop. There's nothing else you can do. But I think we've played enough of this for the one-off. Vampire Hunter D, a very interesting novella series, novel series, short book series. Last I checked, like 15 of them have been translated into English. I need to catch up on them. It's been years since I last read one, actually. I could do with rereading them. I do enjoy them. The 2 anime movies, there's one in 1985, which was it 1985? One of the earliest anime movies made with the intention to be released in English, I think. Oh, there's some kind of importance to it. It's an interesting movie. It feels rushed towards the third act, but it's a good movie. It's worth watching. Bloodlust is one of my favourites. I think it has some of the most beautiful animation in anime. Still, it came out in like 2000. It still looks fantastic. The books, not for everybody. The game, ups and downs, honestly. If you can find it cheap like I did, maybe check it out. If not, don't really go out your way for this. It's interesting. It's got its problems. And why do we have the jump? I'll see you guys in the next weekend one-off.